dirty money in politics. When you're talking about dirty money in politics here in Colorado, then you are absolutely talking about the oil and gas industry, right? Yeah. We are facing a fracking crisis here in Colorado. We've got over 70,000 active oil and gas wells with plans for about 150,000 more. Unless we do something to stop it, right? And we have an historic opportunity right now to pass 2 ballot initiatives that would be game changers in this fight, okay? They would not only be an inspiration to communities around the world, but they would be one of the biggest victories ever in the fight against climate change. So I'm going to introduce to you now to my friend Liz Arnold here.
Okay, we gotta. And threw down here for break free, and is always helpful to all of us when we need his expertise in different parts of the country. So we really mad love for Raz. And also just for everybody involved in this fight in Colorado, it's impossible for any one person to know the impact that they have in the world. We just have to have hope, because we're not living the lives of all the people all over that are seeing and hearing about what we're doing, but you just have to know that other people are seeing and feeling what you're doing. And that's definitely been true for us in Pennsylvania. We have been watching what's happened here in Colorado with win after win in terms of communities protecting themselves, getting moratoria and bans against fracking in their local communities. And that is a huge lift to us in Pennsylvania, where we're also fighting fracking, and to other countries around the world. I got a lot of emails from Bulgaria when they banned fracking, and they said, thank you so much for the information coming out of Pennsylvania. That helped us ban fracking in our country. So we are a global community, and we should never underestimate the impact that we have on other places. And because of that inspiration coming from Colorado, when I heard about these ballot initiatives, which Yes for Health and Safety Over Fracking, which is really a coalition of groups who have worked really hard for a long time, had the vision to know that the Colorado State Supreme Court was going to overturn all those moratorium bans, which they did in May. Yeah. Boo. And so they knew that we had to keep the fight up, and we had to have the next thing ready to go, which are 2 constitutional amendments. This does not get more directly democratic than this. Colorado is fortunate to have a way to amend the state constitution, and we do that by essentially getting 5% of registered voters to sign these petitions so we can get it on the ballot and let voters vote on it in November. There is nothing more directly democratic than that, and we know how skewed this democracy can be sometimes, so it's nice to have that avenue. And a lot of us have been working very hard, and we hope you will join that fight, whether you're staying here and not going to Philly, or whether you're going to Philly and coming back. I'm from Philly. I love Philly. If you need recommendations, happy to give them. But I'm here because there is no more important fight than this right now in the United States in terms of keeping fossil fuels in the ground, supporting a transition to a just, sustainable economy where people can prosper and the environment can survive, and we can survive off of the planet, and also to protect public health and really send a message that we are ready. The future is now, and we're ready for it right now, and we're gonna make it happen. So yeah, so do not leave here without giving, and Micaela will speak at the end about how you can get involved, but do not leave here without giving one of us, preferably Raz and Micaela, your name and phone number and your availability to collect signatures or do data entry or fundraising, because we need it all. We only have 20 days left, and we need all of you to get those 98,492 signatures for each ballot initiative, and we've got 2. So we need you. And I want to introduce somebody who I love, I'm not going to lie, I love, and has also been a great inspiration to me and dropped a lot of, very lucrative job offers. And we both dropped our lives completely to come here to Colorado to work on these initiatives. And it's for the love, and it's for the the win, really, for the movement and the education that happens in the process. So Ryan and I met working on the Bernie campaign. I was an advisor on fracking in Pennsylvania. And Ryan ran the state of Michigan and won the state of Michigan for Bernie. Which, by the way, I think people gave it like, what? Like a 3% chance of being possible, that win. We're also up against real hard odds here in Colorado, but with you all in this room, I mean, there's like almost 100 people in this room. If everybody went out and got 100 signatures, we'd have 10,000 more signatures right here. So we are powerful, and we need to do it in the next 20 days. So then Ryan came to Pennsylvania. We didn't win Pennsylvania, but that was really New York's fault, because when New York went for Hillary, all the undecideds in Pennsylvania broke for her. So we were neck and neck before that. We were slated to win that. Anyway, that was going to be close too. But Ryan has been, both him and I are working on the paid signature gatherer part of this campaign. We've got kick-ass volunteers who've been out there for months. And then, you know, sometimes you got to pay people so that they drop their lives and work 40 or 50 hours a week on something. So we're also hiring, if anybody wants a job, to gather signatures. And I'll just let Ryan say a couple words about what this whole Bernie movement and direct democracy has been like.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan, and you can see why I also love Elizabeth. She is a wonderful and inspirational speaker, and I'm so happy to be here and just be able to talk to you guys. You know, when I was working on Senator Sanders' campaign, first, who's going to the DNC? Anybody here? All right. Well, represent there, you know, as activists and as people who, you know, care about not just what goes on here in Colorado, but around the country. You know, when the senator decided to come out and very simply say we should ban fracking across the country, I think that was an enormous moment for the environmental movement, like Elizabeth was talking about, not just here in Colorado or Pennsylvania or the United States, but across the world. To have somebody with that sort of microphone at that point in time during the presidential campaign, I think was an amazing moment. And I learned so much from the senator himself about, you know, life in general, not just political issues. And, you know, I think that being a part of talking about, you know, the devastating effects of fracking and talking about a transition for workers away from fracking so that we can, you know, bring unions on board, bring a number of other groups on board that we need to is extremely important. I think that you're going to hear him continue to talk about that as we go forward. So, you know, I think give him hell in Philadelphia. You know, we see what's going on we're now in the second day of the Republican National Convention. And if unfortunately you've taken the time to listen to some of the stuff, it's really like nothing we've ever seen. So, you know, I think for folks here in Colorado, you know, I'm just really amazed at, you know, the work like folks like Raz have done here to push this movement forward, because the fact of the matter is, particularly when it comes to fracking, we're still educating people. You know, we're going out and collecting signatures, and you know, I feel like we've got a long way to go just to make sure people know what's going on in these communities and what happens when the industry shows up outside of your doorstep, and the lack of recourse that you have, and the lack of recourse that we all have. You know, this is, again, like Liz said, this is true direct democracy. We didn't just come out and say we're going to have ballot initiatives to amend the state constitution. People were forced into this situation. Communities on the Front Range banned and placed moratoria on fracking, and it was overturned by the state Supreme Court. So, you know, what we're engaged in is a last resort effort in American politics and in American elections. And you know, you talk about the money in politics. You know, we heard Senator Sanders talk a lot about that during the course of the presidential campaign. And I think, you know, we see what happens when they coincide, and we're unable to control our own communities. If we want to say that we don't want to ban fracking, or that we want to ban fracking, we should be able to do so. we should be able to decide that as communities. So that's what we're going to do over the course of the next 19 days. A little tired, but August 8th is our deadline to turn in over 200,000 signatures. We're working our butts off. We've got an incredible volunteer effort. I didn't see you. I didn't know you were here. Mickey, I thought you were already gone. And you know, if you can contribute any of your time, I know you're going out, and some of you are going to the convention, that's awesome. But when you come back, we're still going to have a lot of time here. So anytime you can give, please do so and help us get this done so we can put it to the voters in November. All right, so thank you so much.
Democrats in Colorado are leading the fracking siege, and they're also leading the charge against the Citizens Initiative process. So it's really important not to come to Colorado and point out the Republicans and their support for oil and gas, because the Democrats are fully leading that charge.
Great, we're great.
So excited to see everybody here. My name is Micaela, and I have been working on this ballot campaign with a group called 350 Action, which is like the C4 political side of 350.org. And so the work that we're doing is directly confronting those political forces and calling out, confronting Democrats and Democratic leaders and folks on both lines of the aisle who have just been bought out by the fossil fuel industry, which is why what you all are doing, going to the DNC, is so important. We need to hold our elected officials accountable. We need to call them out when we see them doing things wrong, and enough really is enough. Like, at a certain point, we just cannot allow them to continue to steal our democracy from us. And we have seen time and time again the fossil fuel industry in this state, in Colorado, continue to do that. And so that's why I'm committed to working on these ballot initiatives, is to not allow them to continue to buy out our politicians, to really give people a choice to pass moratoriums in their communities to ban fracking, to be able to protect themselves and their health in their communities. So I'm going to quickly speak about how you all can get involved, and then turn it over to someone from the Caravan to speak more about that. But basically, there are folks here with clipboards. They are awesome, and they are carrying the ballot initiatives, 75 and 78 for local control and setbacks. If you want to get involved, there is a sign-up sheet at the back table. Even if you have 2 hours, 3 hours, like, we can be in touch with you and can help you be involved in whatever capacity is possible. If you're looking to get paid, we have paid slips, and we have more information about the campaigns at the back. So before I turn it over to the amazing folks that are helping organize the Up to Us Caravan, I'm wondering if there's just any questions that I can help answer before that about the initiatives or anything. Yeah.
What if we really don't know much about what's going on? Can we still help? Do you guys
Yes. So if you have questions, or I don't really know, even I don't really know what fracking is, I don't know what the situation's been, please, I would love to talk to you. I'm sure other folks would, and totally great to get more informed.
So those initiatives are going to be challenged if they pass, and I'm wondering if there's any kind of plan in place to cross that bridge when it comes.
Maybe other folks want to speak.
Yeah, we have a
more
legal
to
team that we've had for a year, working on the language and everything like that. We feel that they are 100% defensible, and the 2 times that initiatives have been challenged in the federal Supreme Court, Colorado state initiatives have been challenged in the federal Supreme Court, they have been upheld both times. So precedent is on our side with that as well.
What were those initiatives that were upheld?
I'm not even sure.
But I would say when we are doing something for the people, it is going to be challenged by the corporations and by moneyed interests. So what we have to do is we have to build power in Colorado to defeat the fossil fuel industry. Honestly, like that's what we have to do, and these initiatives are part of it.
I have a question. I haven't checked out your petition yet and how similar it is to one I was working on statewide. But one thing I noticed when I was gathering signatures is that people who don't have addresses can't sign the petition. And I work with the Fort Collins Homeless Coalition, and I just kind of wanted to put that forward and ask you guys, do you require an address? And also just bring up the fact that there are a lot of us who feel like we're disenfranchised, but there are actually people who can't vote simply because they don't have an address. And we need to speak up for those people who have to drink all this water, who have their environment poisoned and don't have a say because of big money.
Right, yes. And I think that there's a lot of like reform that we have to do. Like, and I feel like folks who are not in a permanent residency should be able to carry, and like folks who have, you know, been previously incarcerated. Like there's so much voting reform as well that like needs to be done in conjunction with that.
Okay, this part is really important. This is not going to happen unless each and every one of us get involved. We have awesome people that are working on this, but the other side, Protect Colorado, has $7 million, and they've been working on the messaging for 2 solid years.
What is Protect Colorado?
Protect Colorado is the front group for the industry. So very important to go out and read on Twitter what's happening. And even more important to go out on our channel, Yes Health Safety, and tell all of your friends about what's going on here. This is not going to happen if it's just left up to a small group of people. It's only going to happen if each and every one of us decide how we can get engaged. If you have legal experience, get involved in the legal group. If you have fundraising experience, get involved in fundraising. That's the whole purpose of this campaign, or this caravan, and why people got on, you know, in their cars and put their kids in their cars, is because it's up to us. It's not bad guys that are doing everything to us. It's us, and we have the chance to make this right. And I am so inspired by all of you that would get in your cars and take this trip. I almost want to go with you. We're going to be here in Colorado, and we've got your back, and we know that you've got our backs, and we really, really appreciate you. Thank you.